Hey everyone, I get asked about magnetic clocks quite often, so I figured I'd take a bit of time to talk about it. I've been using one to compete and as my main clock since like March of this year, and then right away people started asking me how much I'd sell them for. And at the time I didn't have magnets or clocks to make them, but then before I actually got more magnets and clocks, I realized there's a problem. The ring magnets that go on the plastic casing, those come off, and this is a problem that everybody has with them. The super glue just isn't enough to hold them on. So I then started getting more magnets and clocks and experimenting, and I've made a bunch of magnetic clocks now and just experimented with different ways to hopefully keep the ring magnets on, and I haven't perfected it yet, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I have two clocks with thousands of solves on each of them, and no ring magnets or any magnets have ever fallen off of them. But I have some clocks that have attached magnets to what I feel like is the same way, that they come off of very quickly. So right now I just give them away. Whenever I finish a clock and break it in enough to the point where I think it's good, I give it to someone who has asked me for a magnetic clock. Why I do that is pretty much I just don't want to sell something I don't know what the quality is, because I only break them in with 200 to 300 solves, and that isn't enough time to see if the magnets are going to come off. I test each magnet after I've glued it and let it dry for a couple of days to try and like pry it off with a screwdriver or something just to see if it's strong, and most of the time they don't come off when doing that, and I never want to sell something that someone is going to have to fix by re-gluing a magnet to. So I did make the video right away of how to make a magnetic clock, and I'll probably take that down eventually, maybe right now actually, but I will be putting up another tutorial once I sort of have a better idea of what goes wrong with the clocks that the magnets come off of easily. Originally when I started making them, it took less than 30 minutes, very quick. Not much thought was going into it because that's how I had heard they were made. Now it takes me several hours to make a magnetic clock, and then I spend another couple hours breaking it in. So it's a much more labor-intensive process, but I feel that they've at least gotten better. Even though they turn better, they don't always look as nice now because I'm using more super glue and then other adhesives, and sometimes there's residue on like the clear plastic casing, so that is another reason I don't want to sell them, because it doesn't look good. So not knowing what's going wrong in the ones that don't work as well is kind of frustrating, but what's more frustrating is that the Lingal clocks that I use to make them have gone up in price for whatever reason, and a lot of them, not a lot, less than half, come broken, so that's just kind of annoying. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got a list of people that I'm making magnetic clocks for, and this whiteboard is magnetic, so it makes it very easy to store them. I usually try and just give them out at competitions that I go to. If you ask me for a magnetic clock, you'll probably go on the list, but it's a very slow process because, like I said, it takes a long time to make, and I'm buying all the magnets and clocks myself, so it may take months or years, and hopefully something better will come out by then. But for now, this is something I can do for my friends, where I can just experiment and make progress myself, and then give them a clock that's better than most others. So yeah, that's about it. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. And my battery's about to die, so I guess it's a good thing I'm done talking.